Yo, we're on, all right. Am I ready? I think I'm ready. My clothes are, yep, pretty sure my clothes are on. Yep, and we're good, we're good. Hello, everybody. I'm back from CES. That was the most unbelievable week I have had in a very long time. That was so cool. So a couple things before I actually really get into this. First off, mic check. Is this working? I'm using a new system that I bought actually for CES with the intent of using it also from here now. I have a backup just in case, but I'm using a wireless lav that's connected to my computer, going to you guys. So before I go any further, let's make sure that it's actually coming through and it's working. Hello, Faye and Tuaran and everybody else. We got a lot of people in here. Apparently some people are excited to understand like how the Pro works. There's been a lot of talk. I've seen a lot of YouTube activity, you know, just being able to show the stats. That's all valuable. I was so lucky to have been able to have gone to CES this year. They shouldn't have let me in, guys. They shouldn't have let me in. I'm nobody, but I'm so glad that I was able to get there and try this out. It was so cool, so very cool. All right, cool. So the mic works. So here we're going to start the actual video itself. So if you're tuning in the recap, here is how this is going to work. I have a decent amount of footage, like about an hour's worth. I've made a lot of mistakes, guys. I wish I had gotten more, but I have about 50 minutes worth of actual footage that I'm going to show you guys today. And instead of going through and trying to make up for my lacking abilities that I had during CES with, going through and trying to record something official, I figured I can go ahead and just play the video for you guys while I'm sitting here kind of watching it with you, and we can answer some questions. I can fill in some of the blanks that I missed while I was there. For those of you that don't know me, I am an incredibly awkward individual, and I have some social anxiety issues. So being at the show, there were so many things, so many overloading of the stimuluses, so much overloading of it. So I missed a lot of things, but hopefully I can make up for some of that now. So I'm going to put a lot of links or a lot of timestamps in the description for parts of this video. So if you're watching this, after the fact, you can skip to the parts that matter and skip over the parts that you just don't care about, because there's going to be a few of those too. So before we get into the actual video, I also want to give just a quick summary for those of you that want to know my firsthand experiences on some of these things. So here's a couple bullet points for you. The HTC Vive Pro, unbelievable improvement. Okay, so yeah, you see the stats, you hear that it's lighter, you hear that the resolution is improved, but until you've actually put it on and experienced the combination of those two things, like, it doesn't completely click. The resolution, spectacular. Okay, you can still see the tiniest little bit of a screen door if you're looking for it, but it is nothing like what you see right now. And then add on to that the weight of the Vive itself, and you have something that I am very optimistic about being able to actually work in VR now. Currently, if you try to do any like virtual desktop, like it doesn't make any sense. Like it's too heavy. After about an hour of it, you're just like, all right, this is uncomfortable, and you can't really read any of the text. They're solving both of those issues with the Vive Pro. So huge improvement. Not only that, but then you have the deluxe audio strap 2.0, I guess, but it's just integrated into the Vive Pro itself. It's bulky. Okay, you look like something out of Doctor Who. What is it? The cyborg creatures. I forget what they're called, but anyway, it's really big on the sides, but overall, like, the comfort is so much more important than just being able to read it or just being able to look stylish while playing it. But I do like the blue. I hope they keep that. Anyway, we'll see. So that's one bullet point. 2 wireless solutions. I covered both the TPCast as well as DisplayLink solutions. That's going with Intel. So I'll probably be calling it DisplayLink more than I will anything else. But whenever I say DisplayLink, understand that I'm talking about the official wireless solution that is going to be released by HTC using Intel's wireless system that is using DisplayLink's transmission tech to actually get the video feedback and forth. So there's quite a few companies that are collaborating to make the official HTC wireless solution. I worked significantly with DisplayLink. In fact, DisplayLink is the company that invited me out to help them out with their mixed reality setup. So it was because of them that I went to that I was able to go to CES. So I am biased towards them as a company now. Fantastic group. I absolutely love them. I've been away from them now for a couple days, and I miss them dramatically. It was probably one of the most enjoyable working events of my life. Okay, it was a week. I spent a week of vacation from my normal day-to-day job. going out to CES. Worked my butt off while I was there, probably harder than I have in a very long time, but it doesn't matter. It was the best vacation I've had in a long time. I love the group that was out there. Okay, so I am telling you this now. I'm gushing over them just so you know that what I say about their product might be a little bit suspect, okay? I try as an honest person to take a step back and really evaluate the product for its own merits, okay? So I am telling you this just so that if you don't believe me, if this is your first time here, you may not believe my words whenever I say that the DisplayLink product, like the ones that they've worked on, their wireless solution is top notch. It is, in my opinion, the best one. So I am saying that from a rational perspective, but take it for what you will. Okay, so I tried the DisplayLinks, and it is great. It is absolutely fantastic. The weight is great. It doesn't really shift on my head, which is the biggest issue that I had with TPCast solution. In terms of latency, I really couldn't tell the difference between the two of them. Okay, so TPCast is making a great product. However, they have some ergonomic issues to work through. The TPCast Plus, and in some of the videos I call it the TPCast Pro. That was a mistake, but it's called the TPCast Plus. It has the battery pack on the head itself, and I've used the Rift version of it, and whenever you shift your head, it slides back and forth. So DisplayLink wins. Now that is just that it's not saying that will always be the case, because TPCast, the solution that I tried, they are still saying that it's the prototype unit. So, but then again, DisplayLink was too. So yeah, we're kind of comparing apples to apples in terms of prototype availability. In fact, actually, I think TPCast is trying to get theirs out earlier than the DisplayLink or the official view. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But from what I've tried, I can tell you for sure that Intel's and DisplayLink solution definitely outstrips the TPCast solution. All right. So bullet point number 3. Where would I go from here? So the HTC's Pro, or the Vive Pro, and DisplayLink, those are the two biggest pieces to talk about. The third bullet point would be a general disappointment, I guess, for CES as a whole this year. Most of the VR stuff was pretty cheap knockoff, or not knockoff, but pretty cheap, like mobile solutions. Nothing that really caught my attention. There were a couple little neat gimmicky things that I'll kind of talk about at the end. But for the most part, like the real show stealers were definitely, obviously, the HTC Vive Pro and the wireless solutions. Oh, I also tried the Pimax8k. So some talking points there. The resolution, phenomenal. Their field of view, though, kind of not I wouldn't say quite gimmicky, but it's I feel like they're kind of cheating a little bit. Okay, so and I kind of give an example of this whenever I'm going through it. But again, just doing the summary bullet points here. The Pimax8k, beautiful resolution. Okay, the refresh rate, not so great. It's not bad, but it does blur a little bit as you're moving along. And then essentially you have standard field of view, but an additional bit of blurry field of view, or maybe not blurry, but distorted. So it was kind of hard to really pinpoint exactly what I was seeing. However, from this point out, you do get pixels there, but it's like there's a very like dividing line between like full resolution, and then you have like the extended resolution that goes along the outside. So I'm not sure if I actually really care for the extra field of view, since it was a distorted view. So I don't know. I would need more time in it to really be the judge on if it's, you know, a worthwhile thing. But yeah, I don't know. Because of the refresh rate, actually, I would say the Pimax8k is probably not a strong buy from what I've seen. So that's it for my bullet points. So now from this point, I'm going to cut myself down to like a little tiny piece in the back, and I am going to go through the video that I took and do sort of like a mystery science theater type approach to this. Well, I'm not going to try to make any jokes because I'm just not a funny fella, but I am going to pause the video as it exists every now and again to kind of talk through it and answer any questions that you guys have. So that's where we're going from this. So I've been rambling now for roughly 10 minutes. So now we're going to jump into the actual video itself. So let's see if this works.
Hi guys, we are in the HTC demo booth. This is a absolutely amazing experience right now. We have so many cool things. We have the new Vive 1.5 over here, like all over the place. We have the Vive Wireless, the upcoming, like everything that is the awesome things that are coming with Vive is right here, right now. So I'm about to go through some of these booths. We're going to talk about, you know, the additions, the awesome things that are coming with the Vive 1.5, and I'll also have some fun with some cool things that haven't really been talked about yet. We got Ready Player one. We have a bunch of other cool experiences. Some of them games, some of them not. Some of them that are medical trainings. There was warehouse training. So maybe not the coolest games, but really cool nonetheless. And also there's a bunch of really cool toys around here. Check this out. So we have this cube right here. And check this out. As I move this, we control that thing right there. Not bad. That's cool. This is the Intel version of the wireless adapter. We got the cord going for the battery. That's going to be sitting in my back pocket. But apart from that, it just looks like standard replacement for the cord. So we'll see how it compares to the DisplayLink. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Yeah. Have you tried any wireless? Okay. Yeah, yeah. So, and I've been trying to get on this one. It's really good. I play it live all the time, and I noticed cool, like, there are a lot of different options.
Skipping through a bit of this, I didn't realize that just kept so we can just gameplay. Wireless, it works, right?
Yeah.
Running out smoothly? Too much. Ah! Alright, so I'm not sure if it was potentially the game running out smoothly or not, but this one didn't actually seem to run quite as smoothly as the DisplayLink's version. No idea what's going on, but it was slightly noticeable that there was a little bit of latency. In the DisplayLinks, I was in awe. I didn't feel anything at all, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So we got a few months before this thing comes out, like almost a year, so not too worried about it for what it is. Top notch, like the wireless, just being able to flip around, do whatever I wanted to. That's a dramatic improvement, so we'll see how this thing goes. All right, so next we got Sim4 Health. This is a training application for... Pausing that right there. Don't worry, guys. It turns out that it was just the experience itself. So Doom VFR, it was running a little bit slow. Doom VFR is a pretty CPU-intensive game, or GPU-intensive game to begin with. I played some other experiences down the road, so yeah, not to worry. Things got dramatically better, especially in a racing simulator later. Racing simulator that I did. Surgeons. Apparently, we're going to do some surgery today. Well, hopefully we won't kill a guy.
So in this case, you just see it.
Yep.
Here was developed initially with Stanford Medical School.
Okay.
And the thing is, for this CES, we do the multiplayer thing, like someone is a teacher, the other one is a student, and you can teach inside the simulation how to perform some gesture, how to perform some operations, all right? And so yeah, this is a surgery. I mean the preparation step for future surgery on the patient, right? Endovascular surgery. If you want the exact word, it's abdominal aortic aneurysm. Okay. So that's it.
Way over my head. Yep.
I guess me too. Actually. So the thing is, we put a stent. You know what is a stent?
Yep.
Okay. Inside the artery, and we just want to do the whole preparation step before putting the stent. Right. Because in Stanford, they this is a different person who is performing the preparation, which is, basically it's an intern.
Right.
And the surgeon will, after that, put the stent on the body.
Right. And this is using the Vive Pro.
Exactly, yeah.
Goodness. Okay, cool. Can I jump in? Thank you. Do you mind to take just a quick look? So this is not the Deluxe Audio head strap. This is something entirely new. I thought they were using the same one. So this is light.
And actually the weight is balanced on the back of the head.
Wow. Can I get a close up on the camera just real quick? Just for a quick second? Wow. Oh goodness, where's my light? All right, so this is the Pro. This is maybe I want to say even close to half the weight of the standard Vive. I could be wrong on that one, but this feels like nothing. This feels just like this feels like a toy. This is incredible. And so the weight apparently is distributed on the farther back. So this is a new Deluxe Audio strap. The headphones look entirely different. Just overall, this is so different than what I was expecting. I thought they were just changing out the lenses. We got 2 front-facing cameras, and we'll see how this goes. I'm excited. All right.
All right. Can you see the panel? Oh, this is in French actually right now, so you can change the language.
Okay. Will I need to read much, or just listen to you? That's okay.
I will place the sword right behind your left arm.
Okay.
Just move like half a step to your right.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
She will give you the controller.
I'll give you the first one.
Okay. Right hand.
Give me 1 second with this.
No worries.
Here's the left one.
Okay.
So with the trackpad button on your thumb, you will continue.
Okay.
Bottom right.
And
Got
then
it.
Start the multiplayer.
And then multiply bottom right. There we go. Perfect.
All right.
Can you see me?
I can see you and hear you.
Yeah. So the thing is, you are in the operating room right now. So here is your patient, Sam.
Oh goodness.
Right. Take a look.
Yep. All right.
Right.
Wow.
I have all the. This will be the operating area, right?
Okay.
So this is basically the leg over there, and we are doing a femoral access to reach the abdominal aortic aneurysm, right?
Okay.
So good. So I will give you all the tools behind me and explain to you how to use it, right?
Okay.
So the first step will be to put some gel on the skin over there, so you grab it, and then when you are close to the skin, you press the trackpad button, right?
Okay.
All right, that's enough. Thank you. So now we can take a look at the ultrasound results. So yes, as you take a look at the screen, you have on the left side you have the artery, on the right side you have the vein. All right?
Okay.
So how do you recognize it? It's when the vein is compressible actually. So when I press it,
Oh.
yeah, see?
Yeah.
Right. So we want to do some stuff around the artery. All right.
Okay.
So the first step, I just put the syringe in position. Sorry about that. And the first step will be to do an anesthesia near the artery. So grab the syringe, push it inside, and then press the trackpad button. And take a look at the screen. Push it inside. You see the skin is moving right there, the flesh. So
I have to say this is kind of disturbing. Yep. Okay. Do I press the trackpad now?
yeah, and take a look. What? You see?
Oh wow.
You injected product in there. So you remove the needle right now.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about this anymore.
Because this is not over, actually. You will see.
Yeah.
Okay, the same thing with this needle, except we want to enter the artery, alright? So put this at the same angle than before, alright? Grab it again, and push inside. Oh, you didn't grab it. But... yeah, you got it. Push it inside, take a look. You see the white point?
Yep.
Actually? Yeah.
Oh, hey! Oh gosh! No! He's bleeding!
Yeah, this is normal, don't worry. Put this wire inside and it will get better. So yeah, you can take it from the top. Oh, you don't need the probe anymore.
No?
Actually.
Okay. Take it from the top and then push it all the way in?
Yeah. Exactly. Alright. So once you are inside the artery, there is no problem actually, right? You can get out of the artery with this wire. So we're actually pushing this wire around the abdominal area, right?
Okay.
Through the artery. Then we will do a little incision on the very bottom of the needle, right there. So try to put this axis. Sorry.
Okay. This axis?
Yeah, exactly. In the middle of the skin, right? Right. You see the little incision you did?
No.
Yeah. There's over there is a little cut.
Okay.
Can you see it, or is? Maybe you can get closer.
No, I don't see it.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really difficult to see it, but anyway.
Okay.
You want to stretch the little incision you just did, so at the very tip of the scissors there.
And then expand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay. You say I want to do this. I'm pretty sure I don't want to do this. This seems terrible. Is that thumb pad?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe get closer to the needle. A little higher. Put it out a little bit. Yeah. You get the very tip of the. Yeah. You got it. You see?
Oh, okay, now I see. Yep. All right.
You can do that. You may remove the needle. Maybe use your left hand, it will be easier. Yep. Thank you. There it is. I take it. Sorry. And the last step will be to put the catheter, which is this is the catheter, on the wire. So
Okay.
your turn.
This way?
Yeah. From the top. Yeah. Grab it with your left hand and push it inside the body. Alright.
Oh, goodness.
Alright.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Wow. That was weird.
How do you feel?
No, I feel okay. That was unsettling. It obviously didn't feel like real life, but at the same time, like just the idea of just cutting somebody open, I can't get over that. That's not okay with me. But very, very cool. I can see that being absolutely amazing. So is this how far away is this from being in use for actual training purposes?
Well, actually, this is already used for training, but not this case specifically because this is made really for the CES show, right?
Right.
With the multiplayer mode, etc. But we already did that with Stanford, right? And the case is a solo player case.
Right.
So you grab yourself your own object and do it by yourself.
Right.
And so they already use it at Stanford.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, so the Vive Pro, the first experience, kind of mixed bag. The frame rate of that game was not super high, so I'll be very interested to see how the rest of the experiences are. This one was there were a lot of things going on with it. This was also a multiplayer game, so we'll see how it goes. So overall, that was a very interesting experience. I will say that there were a few times where I did not want to put that needle into a body. It was not lifelike. Like there wasn't a huge sense of immersion, but I can definitely see where this is going in teaching people how to actually perform these surgeries and save lives in the future. So really cool. Overall, the weight of the Vive was unbelievable. I couldn't feel a thing of it. So we'll see how it goes. Now, overall, I think, I don't know, maybe there was a little bit more heat than normal, but then again, this room is getting a little bit warm itself. So we'll see. Overall, and I guess the important thing, the resolution. Looking around, like you could see, kind of like a. Go for it. No. Oh, hi. Yes, sir.
Yeah. You want some information about?
Oh, I was just there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. He did a great job of explaining it to me.
So you explained the VR.
Yeah. No. It was.
How was the experience actually for you?
The experience was hard. Okay, so I
mean, you mean for the blood maybe, or just?
That was disturbing.
With the stuff
Yeah. For actually, it was a needle. Stick me a needle.
Yeah.
I know it's fake, but it doesn't matter.
The flesh,
Right. It doesn't feel right. I don't feel good with that. But overall, very impressed. I'm so excited for where this is going in the future. So, great job to you guys for making something that's going to save lives.
I'm the CTO of the company. I'm the CTO of the
company. Oh, excellent. Hey, it was excellent meeting you. This is great. You guys are like going to save lives. How do you feel about that?
This is great. First of all, because we have been selected by Vive.
Right.
So it's very an honor for us, and the French company we try to put the best in the technology and the clinical case you tested.
Right.
So for sure, yeah, I think it's a good event for us, very good event.
Yep.
Good press coverage, and I hope he will open some opportunities in the coming weeks, I guess.
Yeah. So do you guys have any other plans for? I mean, right now we have just you're opening up the artery. So how far do you see this going in terms of being able to show people how to do full surgery? Are you going to just go as far as you can, or is this for a limited use case?
Well, it depends on the technology we will use, but basically, first of all, we are focusing on the procedure for the surgery, especially to train the people, the healthcare professional. I mean, for example, there is interns. Interns will make some surgery, but they don't know all the procedures for all the surgery available.
Yeah.
So the main purpose of the VR is just to recreate the full environment of the operating room, and then to be immersed into kind of actual surgery, but to be prepared, much more prepared for the D-Day when they make the actual surgery. And actually, it's like the jet pilot.
Yep.
Jet pilot we read a lot of books, then go to the simulators and go to the actual plane.
Yeah.
But for the surgeon, they go to universities, read books, and actual patients.
Right. Well, there's cadavers, right?
Yeah, but it's quite difficult because you don't have all the time the cadavers.
Right.
It's quite costly. I mean, it's pricey.
Yeah, you have to rely on people dying. So
exactly. And it's quite difficult to set up. I mean, okay, now I need a cadaver. I will make this surgery.
Right.
There is kind of issue with the logistic around the cadaver,
Right.
So it's better to make just a few sensors, put the headset, and now you are directly involved into the surgery.
You can get hours of training without ever touching an actual body. Yeah, that's amazing.
Like a jet pilot simulator, it's the same thing for the surgeon.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think it will be in the coming months and years, it will be the main item to use, a main technology to use for the training.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, for all fields. Like this is going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Hey, Oliver, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to be looking at Viveport changes, where you can actually see a demo of the game before actually even buying or anything else. So right now we have Steam trailers. They're going to make it to where you can actually just go and have like a little snapshot. This is from what I'm understanding from Troy. This is going to be pretty cool. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Is this open already?
You can definitely.
Excellent. Timing is awesome. So first off, what's your name?
Thomas Kratz.
Thomas.
I'm a marketing manager on the Viveport team.
Excellent. Jesse, nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
So this, Troy already explained a little bit of it. So this is going to be a snapshot of the game they're going to be playing. Developers are going to be able to give you a limited view.
That is
what
our
it is?
VR preview feature, yes. So it's Viveport VR, right, which is our essentially native VR browsing experience inside the headset, right?
Yep.
So developers have this new option, I kind of think of it as trailer 2.0 of taking full advantage of VR, right? To create a VR preview where not only you're essentially getting a vertical slice of that content. Developers have a full option to do like a 3D scene. You can teleport, pick up objects, interact, all of those types of things. So they use our Viveport Scene SDK to build that, to the platform. But it's a great way for customers, right, to try something before they decide to purchase or download.
Nice. Yeah. So is this going to have to be a completely new scene that they have to create? So I've done some VR development myself. Yeah. Is this going to be like just something you drop into an existing piece of your game, or do you have to build an entire demo experience for this?
Essentially what you do is you take your existing assets that you've already made for your experience and you just you drop them in. It's a plug-in for Unity.
Are there limitations like particle effects, or like does it have to be kind of a limited view, or can it be the full experience but just a smaller piece of it?
It's definitely more of a, we would encourage a smaller slice, right? We want people to upgrade to the full experience.
Sure.
And like this is it's a preview, right? The few limitations is one size. We want to make sure these things load really fast, for our users, and it's a very fluid experience. Nothing's like getting directly like downloaded and saved, right? It's streaming into it and caching on the machine.
Right.
So that's one, and then two is just because it's a store and you haven't agreed to download anything, there's no like scripts that are handwritten, right? It's mainly on the interactivity is built with our SDK, so we know it's safe for other users.
Right.
So that's part of it, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could even potentially make a like mini game that you could run there. Is that, do you foresee that being a thing, or is that something you wouldn't discourage?
Oh no, people can go wild with it. Anything
Awesome.
they're able to do, like so. An example, and we'll be able to show you is Arcade Saga. You might have heard of that. That's our first party title we've had. So they have their 3 games on display in the in their VR preview.
Nice.
And so it's like Fracture, Smash, Bowshot.
And you never have to load out of your Vive home experience. You're just going to go in there.
You
and
can
just
go in
walk
there
through.
and play it around with it. Exactly.
Awesome.
There's you can pick up the bag, go for the strike the balls,
Right.
and there's Smash with the balls coming down at you, and you can hit them.
Excellent.
It feels similar to the gameplay from the game. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Mind if I jump in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Thanks.
Cool. So you have the store right.
Oh wow. Yeah. Sorry, just looking around. This is gorgeous. All right. Cool. So, yep. What do I do?
Awesome. So all those title cards out in front of you are different apps and games that are on Viveport.
Okay.
This first one that you're looking at is the Buzz Aldrin. You just switch to a different one. So
Oops, sorry.
No, totally fine. Boom.
Okay.
So you'll notice that the skybox actually was changing as you moved
Oh, I
around
did
the
notice
different
that.
apps.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a first part of the VR preview. It's
Okay.
kind of a hint at that experience. Trailer's going. If you're on the trailer and swipe the trackpad, it'll actually switch between screenshots, check them out.
Nice.
There's a details tab. Select that. You'll bring up the description, read about who this is meant for, the play space, all of that kind of thing.
Cool.
And of course you have reviews too, so you can see what customers have talked about with the app.
Nice. And this is just Viveport, right? So we couldn't
This
see
is
Steam reviews as well integrated?
This is Viveport content. Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
reviews on Viveport.
Gotcha. Okay.
So VR preview button right there. Select that for me.
All right.
So this is that feature where you loaded it in and the developer made this scene.
Excellent. Yeah, no loading time whatsoever. That is great.
Yep. So
Cool.
what they have here is a couple objects that you can pick up from the experience. You can actually teleport around a little bit as well.
Okay.
And then one thing that all of our VR previews have is that menu that you see floating. So anytime you want to jump to the next one, that would be taking you to the next VR preview.
Got it. Okay.
Right into the next.
Was there a warning on what the next thing was going to be, or is it just?
Right now there is. It's just the arrow.
Okay.
You
Okay.
wouldn't know which one would be next at this time.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yes, I agree that would be a great thing.
Cool.
And then that button on the bottom will take you right back to the store whenever you want this kind of
Cool.
experience.
All right. Very nice. So, cool. Is there anything else to see in this, or is that
The main
primarily?
thing I want to talk about is like Viveport subscription, right? So that's
Okay.
our program where you get 5 apps or games for $6.99 a month.
Right.
One thing that's great. In
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was just. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, subscription here.
yeah. So if you look to the right, you have that
Yep.
panel for one more.
Okay.
When you have an open one, that kind of thing.
Excellent.
Yep. So that is
Fantastic.
Viveport VR at a very
Excellent.
quick level.
So this Viveport, this is not going to be like an extension out of Steam Home. You actually have to load Viveport first
It is
before
for the
loading
Vive
into this.
software, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So essentially, Viveport VR is available now. It's early access release is what we're calling
Right.
it, just to make sure we get good feedback.
Cool.
And it's an update to our PC client, so
Awesome.
people can try this today.
All right. Hey, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you,
All right,
appreciate it.
Have a good one. Okay, so slightly different than what I was expecting. I was hoping that it was going to be an extension from your Steam Home. It'd be really nice to be able to just like walk out of your living room and then go swing some bats. It's like, yeah, this is gonna be kind of cool. So the Viveport software itself, hopefully we'll have improvements. I know there's been a lot of issues that we've had in the past with performance issues and it being in the loading in the background. So we'll see. But for the most part, I do like the idea of having those previews. I think it could really go a long way. So pretty cool. This is a fantastic racing simulator. Is this for consumer use, or is this more for like the arcade situation?
Well, we see several use cases for it.
Yep.
One of them being the consumer. People with enough money that they can afford to put this in their homes and
Right.
just really enjoy them. We also provide coaching to racing teams.
Oh,
whether
excellent.
whether it's as a rental or as a purchase, they can buy these and they can train on them. I myself have used these to prepare for races at tracks that I've never been to before. And then the other case is the entertainment centers.
Right. So what does this run? Is that a question I can ask?
Yeah, it's $49,000 for the screen and the whole rig.
49,000. Oh
That's
my
right.
gosh. So this is okay. So this is not for consumers. This is for athletes, and this is for the crazy wealthy.
Well, I mean, it depends. It depends
Right.
on your philosophy. You
Right.
know, there are some people who spend that much in a year on a racing program.
Okay.
And that's the amateur level. You know.
Okay, so I love simulators, but racing I've never really gotten into it, and especially in VR, I've found that racing games tend to make me nauseous sooner than anything else.
Gotcha.
What is your experience with this racing rig compared to just sitting there with like a thumb pad? Does the racing rig help with the nausea in VR, or does it
does it not have an effect?
So you're saying with VR and a thumb pad,
Right.
you get a little nauseous?
With racing games.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's really a personal thing.
Yeah.
I don't really experience nausea in the system, but I know some people will do a lap and they're like, okay, I'm done.
Have you done it without the racing simulator?
You know what? I haven't done the rig without the seat, without
Got it.
the motion on the seat, so
Cool.
I couldn't say.
I'll find out very soon if that's going to be the case or not. But overall, this is unbelievably amazing. I'm really bad at this whole interview thing. I'm really sorry, guys. I know you can only see about my mouth on that one. It's okay. All right.
So there's handles on the outsides of this frame.
Yep.
Make sure you tighten that down.
Yep. Oh man. Oh gosh. Oh, that's nuts. I guess. Gosh, that it tightens on the sides, and that just feels incredible. Like it feels like I'm actually braking, even though it's not actually pulling any G-forces. But the tightening of the belt is incredible. All right, we're gonna push this real hard.
Nice job.
This is incredible, man. I'm getting zero nausea from this. Like, this is such a big difference. Wow, man, you might have converted me into racing sims. That is unbelievable.
Glad you like it.
Gosh. That's gonna be a hard sell to my wife, but Christ. Wow.
Well, it's cheaper than a season of pro racing.
All right, so CXC Simulations, that rig right there, 50 grand for that. I don't see myself ever getting that in my lifetime, but that was unbelievably cool. Like the tightening of the belt straps whenever you put in your brake. I always thought that they wouldn't be able to simulate, the stopping motion, but that felt real. Like my body didn't know the difference between that and actually like moving forward. Obviously there's some difference there, but it was enough to trick my mind. No nausea. I have never been able to play any of the racing simulators without getting nausea within the first like 5 seconds of gameplay. So that is cool. I cannot wait for have more. Like it seems like I don't even need like full. I don't know if it's the. Sorry, I'm rambling now. I don't know if it's the full movement left and right what it's doing. I don't know if it's tightening the straps, but I definitely want to see more haptic type things coming for VR. I think that's going to make a huge difference. Just give me like a full suit that can tighten in different places. That may be enough. I can't wait for the future, guys. This is so cool. Oh, and to follow up on the resolution of the display, that was also using the Vive Pro. Again, the lightness of it, such a big improvement. And then the resolution, this one had no issues with the frame rate whatsoever. It felt fantastic. I really need to stop playing the game on the next time I do with the Vive Pro and actually just really try to look at the pixels. I did it for the first one, but there were some low frame rate issues, so I know it was kind of a mixed bag, and that was with the health or the surgeon simulation experience thing. But this one, the resolution was fantastic. It makes such a difference. But this next time I do the Vive Pro, I'm going to take a second and actually stop and try to look for like the screen door effect and other things like that. I just keep on getting lost in the games. I keep on forgetting to do that. I found my way. Oops, sorry, started talking. All right, so pausing it there just for a second. So that Ready Player One, like tiny little clip that I saw, I thought about just taking it out altogether, but I wanted a reminder that it was there. So super disappointed in the in the Ready Player One experience as it was there. Like it was just you don't see anything in there.
like, so that view that you see, like, I couldn't capture any better footage. In fact, one of the guys that was helping me, or one of the guys that was running the booth, he actually helped manage my camera. But you're in this big area. You have an Iron Giant. Yeah, it looked pretty cool, but it was dark. It was like, it didn't really show off anything. There was nothing really neat. It was all just like static assets that were just kind of there. Like, I really was hoping for something more than that, and it did not. I don't know if anybody else can mirror this or not, but the Ready Player One, like what I had for, and this is supposed to be H's garage area. I thought this was going to be totally different, so I don't know. It didn't match what I pictured from the book, and it was like kind of a letdown just in general. So I don't know. I'm hoping that the full thing is better than this. But anyway, sorry. That's me just being disappointed in this. So moving on. I found my way. All right, wrapping up my time here with the HTC booth. Actually, I'm going to try to see if I can find a PR guy real quick just to get some questions answered on the stats for the Vive itself. But overall, this has been a cool thing. So thanks, guys, for letting me be here. All right, so this place is now absolutely packed. So I'm going to have to go ahead and pass on that. I can't seem to find any guy to talk to. But the stats are online, so it really wouldn't be anything different than what you guys already know. All right, guys, see you. So first up. All right, so let's take a quick break right there and answer any questions before I jump into the TPcast. Any questions, or what all did I miss about the HTC Pro? So let's let's take a quick second to talk through that before we move into the wireless questions. So resolution. So just to recap on the resolution itself, like spectacular. Okay, like you could see the screen door effect, maybe at like the resolution says it itself. It's like roughly like half the size, so you can see it if you look for it, but it is nothing like what it is right now. The refresh rate, I didn't have any issues with it whatsoever. I don't know what hardware they were running. However, I can say that in the racing game that I played, Rosetta Corset, everything was just perfect. Okay, I had no issues with frame rate. The graphics were top notch. But then again, nothing really complicated in the racing games. But like looking around, and the video here doesn't do it justice because you're not able to actually see what I saw. But it was such a dramatic improvement. So, what questions do you guys have? Put @Tribal Instincts in the message if it's a question regarding this, please, so that it pops it out, and I know that you guys are talking to me instead of just talking to each other. So that helps me. So, what questions do you have? No swap. Should I sell my Vive and get a Pro instead? Wait for it to come out, probably. I don't know the price. It is a dramatic improvement. It really is. So I mean, if that is if it's in the, I don't know. I don't want to put numbers on it. It's so hard to put a number on this. But if it's, yeah, I would definitely sell my Vive in exchange for the Pro. It is a dramatic improvement. This isn't just a little bit. This isn't an upgrade like the deluxe audio strap was. This is a dramatic change, okay? It's huge, and especially once you have the wireless added onto it. The wireless plus the weight of the Vive right now, it's not bad, but there is weight there. The wireless solution plus the Vive Pro is going to be roughly the same weight, maybe even less than what the Vive is right now. So huge change. Okay, so MJC for Wilton, set up with the wireless. How many things is involved, since I know TPCast even has its own SSID and consumer router? Okay, so we'll get into more of the wireless in a moment. However, I can say that the DisplayLink /Intel/HTC solution does take a PCIe card, and then you're putting a transmitter up on your wall, and then that's it. And then obviously exchanging out the wires. So you don't have to use a wire, a router or anything else. It's just plugging one PCIe card into your computer. I heard talk about they're looking into like a Thunderbolt connection instead of PCIe. Nothing about that is concrete at all. So not great news yet if you are, if you don't have any PCIe lanes available. So, but we'll see. Dirks 074, does the Pro have better resolution than the Oculus now? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has better resolution than any of the ones on the market currently, I believe. Did they say anything about the minimum? No, nothing about the minimum recommended specs from what I've seen. Oh gosh, I think I've missed some. Oh, wow, you guys are asking a lot of questions. I am so sorry. Oops, and I need to put the chat in here. I'm screwing this up, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. I wasn't thinking about this. YouTube chat, put that in here. Oops, no, not that. Sorry, 1 second. I'm working. Browser source. Sorry, this is critical for the people that are watching this back after the fact, knowing what I'm talking about here. So, okay, so here we are, and let's go. Sorry, scrolling through the chat. No, got that one. Got that one. Is the Pro cable lighter or less noticeable at all? I don't remember noticing it. Oh, hey, Wade Gruber. Thank you for the $10. Although, if you're going to do a super chat, put a question there so I can answer it like directly. Thank you so much, man. That is very, very kind of you for the support, my good sir. Thank you. This YouTube chat is not working. Hold on, I need to. Is there any way to pause this? Sorry, it's like scrolling down every time that a new question pops in. I'm gonna miss some of these. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't think this through. What vibe did you get about the price? Were they talking about it being at a premium? I can't answer anything on price. I've seen speculation way too wild all over the place. Anything from like $350 to $500 for just the unit itself. I don't know. There's nothing on that that's concrete, so I don't even want to really speculate. I would sell it before maximizing the price. That's fair. I don't know. I haven't seen an actual firm release date yet. So I mean, yeah. I mean, if you can go without the Vive for a couple months and gain a couple $100, that seems reasonable to me. Worth the upgrade from Wacky. Worth the upgrade and impact on the min requirements. I don't know if that's a question, but I would say yes. Like, unless you're having to completely overhaul your computer, and even still, maybe. Did they say anything about the minimum? Oh, already read that one. How is the sweet spot on the Vive Pro? I don't know. I can't answer that. I didn't have enough time to really get particular with it. However, it felt like a pretty standard put on the headset and get it comfortable, just like you do with the current Vive. So I don't think that has changed too dramatically. I do know that the actual optics themselves are dramatically improved on this one, but again, I don't have the actual full details on that. Can you move? Yeah, Ben, so same general thing about the sweet spot. Yeah, I think it feels pretty similar to what the current thing is. I will say that the head strap setup does make it so much nicer. You're able, it really is snug on your head. It felt fantastic. So getting that sweet spot is a little bit better. So when the improvements you've seen, consider the upgrades sooner or wait for the upgrades like the knuckles. As soon as this is releasing, I'm getting it. I don't care. Like, it is a dramatic improvement. So user, yeah, I would get this, especially since we know that it is going to be compatible with the Trackers 2.0. Get it and then get the knuckles afterwards. No question about that whatsoever. Derek, no, I haven't seen anything firm. From what I understand, though, it's going to be for being able to get a 3D view of your environment. So instead of just having the kind of weird gimmicky view of your camera, it looks like it's actually going to be used for full-on 3D view of it. So, Kane, likelihood that'll run on a GTX 1070. Again, I don't know the specs. 1070 is minimum specs for current gen Vive, so I would say there's probably some risks there. I have issues with the appearance of the rings on lenses. Does the Pro solve or reduce this? I can't say that it will reduce it. I've never had really that much of an issue with it. However, just looking at the lenses, the Fresnel lens itself, it did look like a much tighter, little rigid, whatever you call it. I don't even know, guys. I'm not an expert on that. JD, is the FOV better? No, FOV is exactly the same. Was there a weird phantom tether reflex now that it has wireless? I don't know what you mean by phantom tether reflex, but if you're talking about like blurring artifacts, no. Like I could not tell a difference between wired and wireless in terms of the visual clarity. None whatsoever. Besides just slipping on the headset, were there any of the other adjustments you needed to do? If so, I didn't actually see this during it. However, I saw afterwards that you can apparently slide the lenses in and out. I did not, well, in a different way. I mean, you can currently do that by like pulling out the thing and twisting it. Kind of a weird thing, but apparently there's like a little button that you can move the optics in and out. So, yeah, so that is a much more convenient thing now. But apart from that, I didn't see anything else. All right, so a little bit of a duplication on the answers. So I'm not gonna answer the same questions I've seen so far. So sorry if I missed your question. Scroll back. I'm trying to get all of them. Yeah, Vipa, I didn't see any changes to the wands whatsoever. So if they were new, I couldn't tell. All right, Cool. So that's all. Guys, if you didn't put Tribal Instincts, I've scrolled over it just because there was so much. I want to keep this moving along. So now we're going to jump into the wireless solution. So we're first going to go through the TPCast, and then we're going to go through the DisplayLink. So let's make this go.
Hi, Udi. Thank you so much for letting me out here.
Yes,
so, as I've already told you, I've already been working with DisplayLink, and I've now seen the HTC Vive. So, why is yours better than theirs?
Let's say, in terms of the understanding their specifications, we don't know. They just announced it. So it's still, they need to productize it, and then once it will be in the market, we'll know better what they do.
Okay, so for one stat, they say that they have anywhere from 0 to I think 7 milliseconds of latency between the time that it render, or the time that the game has the pixel to the photon. I believe they say.
Sure.
So what is your latency?
We have 2 milliseconds of latency.
And that's flat, always 2 milliseconds.
Most of the time, but it's kind of ranges between 1 to 2 milliseconds. That's the
okay.
range.
Cool.
Now, our product is in the market being selling, and we have users using it.
Yep.
So that's kind of the main difference.
Yeah. You have a product that's available to buy.
We have a product productized and shipping for the HTC Vive and also for the Oculus Rift.
Excellent.
So for both.
Okay. And for the units that you have here, if you buy a TPCast, is it good for both the Vive and the Oculus, or is it special for each one?
There's special adaptation for each of them. So the cables are different, so the things are different, so you need to do this installation.
All right. So I haven't seen actually the unit yet. So DisplayLink. Actually, may I? Oh, excellent. Fantastic. Sure. So this looks more like DisplayLink. So HTC, they have a belt loop for a battery pack. Sure. Is that an option as well for you?
Yes. So this is the TPCast Plus.
Okay.
The TPCast Plus, everything is integrated, and you can put it on your head.
Okay.
The TPCast, the original one, the one that we are selling, gets with a battery pack on your belt.
Okay.
So the one of the main differences will be that here everything is integrated. It's less power, and it's very easy to use. Mm-hmm. While the battery here is 2 hours of life, and on the battery pack that you have on your belt, it kind of goes up to 6 hours.
6 hours.
So we have a big, longer life battery.
Excellent. Cool.
The TPCast Plus, we made an announcement at the show where we provide it all integrated. The cables are inside, and you have a better experience. That's
excellent. So what? How much more is this one compared to the normal TPCast?
We still are not selling it. It will be introduced in a couple of months.
Okay.
So that's kind of, we don't have a price yet.
Excellent. So apart from the battery pack and them being self-contained, is there anything else different about the TPCast? I know y'all use a router for transmission. Is that correct?
Sure. On the TPCast Plus, there's no router. We
eliminated
the router, so it's kind of much simpler
Wow,
installation.
that's a big change. I know a lot of people are not happy with the router setup.
Okay, so
that's just the reviews that I've seen online.
Sure, I understand. So we listen to our customers, and we try to improve. So there's many things we do. There's some capabilities that we improve here, which will be also in the TPCast, which is the mic not working on the TPCast release that we are doing now, and we'll be improving that, and here is already working.
Excellent. So how does, if you don't mind me asking, how does this connect to the computer? Is it?
There's a USB dongle that.
Just USB?
Yes.
Just USB 3 is enough to transmit all of it? Wow.
It goes back.
Wow.
So that's the channel back, yes, that's right.
Wow, oh, sorry, so that goes back.
It's not the video.
That's not the video. Oh, okay. So we have.
It was so hard.
So what is it that's transmitting the video?
The video is the receiver here gets the video, and through the dongle we transmit the data back to the computer.
And how does this get the video? What is transmitting the video?
There's a receiver on top of there.
Okay.
A transmitter, excuse me.
Yep.
That's the transmitter to the receiver.
Okay. And how does the transmitter? What is the transmitter plugged into? Into the computer?
Into the HDMI.
It goes into HDMI. So HDMI to the transmitter to this, and then from this to a USB 3 for the data back. Right. Excellent, got it, sorry.
Is it just me, or was that really painful to get that out of him? Like, I asked him, how does stuff get to it, and then he tells me USB 3 as the only answer. And then I have to reverse engineer all the way back to the computer each time I'm asking, like, step by step. I wanted to know what was going on. Were my questions, like, too vague? Or was, like, I don't know. I felt that just felt kind of weird for me. I had to really, really prod the guy in order to actually get that solution out of him, where it seemed fairly straightforward question. How does the data get here? Anyway, moving on, sorry.
That makes sense. So yeah, that's a lot easier than the router setup. So that's awesome. You said a couple months. Do you have a firm release date for the Plus?
We don't have a firm date
Okay, but sometime in the first half of 2018?
Yes, that's correct.
Roughly? Excellent. Okay. I think that's all the questions, unless there's any other data points that you find
Unless you
valuable.
want to try it and see.
Oh, no, I do want to try it.
Okay,
But
okay.
are there any other data points that are worth talking about?
No, I think it's
Excellent.
working on the production.
Yes, good. That's good. All right. So I guess one question. This is pretty warm. Is this normal running temperature?
Yes.
That's normal. Okay.
It's not, okay. I don't know. You have seen the others? Are
It's warmer than the ones that I've seen.
okay.
Yeah. But if it's not an issue, that's just curious.
Yeah, you have a lot of isolation between these and your head. So
Yeah, that's true. I don't feel it in this hand at all. That's a good point. All right. Here, can I get a close up?
yes.
All right. So this is the TPCast Plus. Is this 2 batteries?
One battery.
1 battery. Okay. And hot swappable?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any connection issue? Do you have to turn off any game to switch the battery, or does it just work?
No.
Excellent.
That's not always there.
Yeah, so that looks really nice. It looks like the weight for the unit is pretty nice. Do one last question. So the Vive Pro was just announced, and that's 4K resolution. Does this work?
We'll have a solution. This will not be 4K. This is the 2K resolution.
Gotcha.
90 frames
Rip.
per second.
90 frames per second for the 2K. And do
Super
you already
rip.
have plans for the 4K?
4K, yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. All right.
Okay, so pausing it there again, that is a crucial point, guys. So the TPCast Plus, even the future thing that they're coming out with, which does not have a router, okay, so they're making some improvements. However, the TPCast Plus will not be compatible with the Vive Pro, okay? The wireless solution that is coming out from HTC will be compatible, from what I understand, from what they've told me, with both the Vive and the Vive Pro, okay? Yeah, that's just very important distinction. And also I want to call out right now that I asked him kind of afterwards if this was the release version of what he was showing me in terms of like the ergonomics, and you're going to notice some issues here that is a pretty big deal. However, this is apparently prototype gear, so take that for what it is. It's prototype. So the prototype, or the DisplayLink's wireless solution was also a prototype, so it's not. I don't know. Anyway, I'll let you guys watch and make up your own minds on that one.
All right, let's fight people. Is that what this is? And to adjust, I have a large head.
So, there is adjustment here.
Oh, this is super awkward.
Okay, this is the other one. You know how to adjust it?
Do you know how to adjust it? Sorry. Okay, so I'm only pausing this not just to laugh at that, because that's really bad for the people that are demoing it to not know how to use their freaking device. However, I will also call out that that their unit is covering the top strap. Like, you cannot, without like completely like ripping the thing up, you cannot adjust the top strap. And so my large head it wouldn't really work for me to being able to like push this back and forth between multiple people that are demoing it. Okay, so this is another huge issue. Again, though, they're saying this is prototype gear, so look at how it is now and compare it to what releases if this is something that you're interested in buying. Okay, so don't say that this is a hard no at the moment in terms of buying it. It's just the prototype version is definitely not worth buying. We'll see if they change enough to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, actually for...
It's in the front.
Yeah, in front, this too. And for... Yes.
And also, I knew how to adjust it on the side. I was trying to adjust it from the top, because that's the first thing that I adjust. I get the top on, and then anyway, moving on.
Okay. All right. Thank you. No. I've never played this game. Ugh. Oh. Sorry. All right. So, not sure. The weight on the top. Yeah, that's.
Actually, that is the weight of the battery. The main weight should be the battery.
Right.
And we do have another option, and you can put your battery in your back pocket, and that is another solution.
Your preference.
Yeah, just to go
so first
to
off,
show you guys that again.
Okay.
Sorry. Watch as I'm moving my head. This is This is the biggest issue that I have with this right now. The DisplayLink's wireless solution, they also have a battery pack on the head itself, and I don't have this issue whatsoever. The HTC version, they actually have a cord connecting where you put the battery pack in your pocket. So not a one-to-one comparison there. However, the DisplayLink version, they are using a battery pack in the head that has roughly, I think they say 2 or 3 hours worth of battery life, and it did not have this issue. But just here, let me try going back. Just watch it as I move my head back and forth.
The weight on the top. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, you can't really tell. However, it felt very distracting. Like that was a horrible, horrible issue. They've got to fix that. Otherwise, that is for sure a strong do not buy. I would not buy that whatsoever with that unit like moving back and forth the way it does. Okay, on to DisplayLink. Also, for those of you that are not here or that have joined in, DisplayLink are the people that brought me out to CES to help out with their mixed reality booth. So I am so proud of everything that you see like as part of this now. Most of that they already did. Like they made the decisions on like the green screen and most of the booth layout. I helped out with some of the lighting and getting all of the camera system and all the cameras configured and everything else. So I helped out quite a bit with this, but ultimately I am so proud to have been a part of this. I love those guys. It was by far the best working week I've had in my entire life. Absolutely loved it. So anyway. So I am here with Andrew Davis. What is your role exactly here?
Director of Marketing.
Director of Marketing. Ultimately, he's here to lie to us, right?
No, I'm here to tell you what this is all really about.
Yeah, well, thankfully, I've been here for the past few days. So before we actually get into this at all, the absolute disclaimer, this is a bias interview, okay? I love these guys. I've been here for the past 3 or 4 days with them, helping them with their mixed reality stuff. I am biased towards them. Their product, though, has... okay, so I've been now with HTC. I've been by TPCast.
Okay.
Congratulations for winning the mobile. Like I know that the HTC is actually using your tech, right?
It is. So on Monday, HTC obviously announced the new wireless Vive,
right?
DisplayLink and Intel. It's exactly what we're showing here. So on the back here, you'll see both Intel's logo and DisplayLink. So Intel's obviously doing the wireless connectivity over 60 gig, and we're doing the graphics.
Right. So ultimately, even though the form factor is different for the one that HTC is showing, it's the exact same, or for the most part, the same thing under the seats.
Exactly. So a year ago today, almost, we started this with a concept. Mm-hmm. We've evolved that over time. We're showing a reference design here, but it's based on this that they've taken that Vive forward. So it's absolutely the same.
It's absolutely spectacular. So as I said, I've been to TPCast, I've been to HTC. I've used this one a few times. It is absolutely fantastic, and I am so excited for what it's going to be in the future. So I went by HTC. The headset is so light, the Pro.
The Pro.
Once this is on there, like, have y'all measured it? Is it going to be roughly the same weight as just the Vive as it is right now? Because that's what it seems like it would be.
So we've actually built this solution with the ability to change clips. So regardless of the headset, whether it's the standard Vive today, the Vive with the Pro head mount, or the Pro headset going forwards, you can mount any of these. The solution that we've worked with them that's actually launching into market, so it'll be available around summertime, the same.
Nice.
So it can fit with today's Vive, retrofit, or with the new Pro as well. And the lightweight is wonderful, but the great thing about it is having it on the back of the head actually balances a little bit the headset at the front.
Yep.
So when you're wearing it, you really don't notice the weight at all. If anything, it's more comfortable.
So a fun little thing for you, I went to the TPCast and they have the Pro, their upgraded version of it, which has a battery pack on the top. Whenever you tilt your head, left or right, the entire unit shifts off of your head. It is really, really bad. And this one, like, we've had people like jumping around all the time. It doesn't do anything at all. So again, like I said, this is a very biased review, but the product itself, like, I'm gushing towards it because I saw this and it was good, and then I go to see TPCast and it wasn't. So now I'm coming back to them. I'm so glad that I'm working with you guys instead of some of the others, because I can feel very proud of being a part of this. So thank you so much for doing this.
Not a problem. We'd love to have you here. The other great thing, of course, for us is it'd be really hard to do this at TPCast booth, because at least you can see into ours.
So the horribleness of the booth notwithstanding, the product is great, but yeah, their Faraday cage, it was so hot in there. That was a miserable demo experience.
I've not been in, but I heard a lot. We've had a lot of comments come back to the booth. Everyone's like, oh, we can see into yours.
Yeah, great. It actually works. It's not hidden behind the closed door.
To be absolutely fair, TPCast, great company. we'd love to help them out as well. So you could use the same technology and move that forwards as well. So there's nothing stopping that.
All right, so no animosity between the two groups.
Absolutely not. The industry has to move forward. Nobody wants a tether. Having a tether when you build a $5,000 PC and then the potential of pulling it over.
Yeah.
None of us want to be there. Running around and not feeling immersed because you can feel the cable. None of us want to be there.
Nice.
So really for us, we're here to enable everybody that we possibly can. We think it's great technology. We know we were announced as a leader at E3. We're now launching with Vive. It's only going to go forwards from here.
It's a fantastic job. Okay, so I don't remember if this is something that you've talked about yet, but release date, price. Do you have any ballparks, any other details on that?
So it's an interesting question. So release date-wise, what we've been told is that the unit from HTC will be available summertime. So we've got a couple of months to go. So save your pennies.
Yep.
In terms of pricing, they've not announced pricing yet.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be very reasonable knowing HTC. We actually showed when we were back at E3 and we turned it around. So we were asking people, what do you think you'd pay to add on this kind of solution? So let me throw that at you. You've now been with us for a few days.
Yeah.
What do you think the price range should be?
And
I'll tell you how you fare up to everybody else.
Yeah, so rough, I would say anywhere between 150 and 300, and I would still be a solid buy.
Okay.
So that may be on the low end.
That's a little bit lower than most people have said so far. At E3, the gamers and they love to get in there, the early adopters. They were saying between 3 and 5.
3 and 5. Yeah, that's tough. So the cable for me, I've got a massive head. So the cable for me, like the added weight to it, it's not that big of a deal. After doing it for so long, it's not as big of a deal. But until once I got in there and I actually started spinning around, that's whenever everything started really making the difference. But yeah, 500, like doubling the cost of the unit itself almost. Actually, at that point, it probably would be. That's a pretty hard pill for a lot of people to swallow.
I don't think it's going to hit that point. That was just the feedback that we got at the show.
Yeah.
So just to give you an indicator. For me, the big change that's going to come with this is that today, games have been designed for you to have the cable. So you're in, we call it room scale.
Right.
But most of the games today, you're in one small area.
Yep.
This actually changes things up.
That's a good point.
So the great thing I think that's going to enable with this is going to be a new class of games. So we're going to see the studios bringing out a whole new experience where you can really run around, hide behind things. It's going to be so immersive. It's going to be a game-changing experience.
So this is going beyond anything that I've heard talked about yet, but the Vive Tracking 2.0, and this is probably not something you're going to be able to speak to, the 2.0 has potentially house-scale VR. This is a somewhat local transmitter.
Right.
Do you have plans for extending that out to where you could have multiple transmitters?
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Oh,
so
man.
Having multiple players in here already, last year we were only 1. Today we're already 2.
Yep.
There's multiple channels available in the frequency band.
Okay.
So putting multiple players in there absolutely can be done.
Okay.
Moving antennas in certain areas so that you can enable people in a larger environment. Absolutely true. We're limited today by where you can put the lighthouses, but that's already been solved. We just haven't had our hands on the new ones.
Yeah.
So it's only, I think warehousing capability is going to come. We just had yesterday guys down here talking about doing training inside warehouse environments.
Right.
I know Intel's already said, yep, absolutely, that's possible. So I don't see limits here going forwards.
I'm so pumped for this. All right, Andrew, thank you so much for your time, man.
Great to see you,
Any other
Jesse.
final thoughts? Anything that you want them to know about your products?
So I think the number one thing is DisplayLink. We're enterprise guys. This is going to come to enterprise, right?
Yep.
So today we're here showing gaming. We are going to be at a number of shows later in the year. So if people want to come and see us, we're here. We're in Spain next month. That might be a little bit far for some people.
Yeah, a little
We're
bit.
going to be back here for GDC in San Francisco. We're going to be at E3 in June.
Busy.
So people out
Busy.
there want to come and try this, even before it may hit the market. Come find our booth. It's kind of large. It's not hard to find.
It's beautiful.
And
It's
we'd
beautiful.
love to have people in here.
Cool. All right, well, thanks again.
Terrific. Thank you very much, Jesse.
That's a quick close-up of the wireless adapters. Yeah, having the booth babes, that was interesting. Thankfully, these girls helped out dramatically. Like, it would have been a pain in the butt without them. They were responsible for getting people in and out of the headset, so they were there for more than just looking pretty. Especially the one closest to us. Daisy, she was amazing. She loved being there and being part of VR. She was such a joy to work with. Not so enthusiastic.
The
playing the game,
Pimax8k booth. I didn't know that this was even here. I completely missed it. But then one of you guys talked to me and told me that it was here, and so here I am. I'm about to try this thing out.
Thanks.
So this is the Pimax8k behind me. Looks like they're in the blue, so that's going to be a great test to see the higher resolution of that 8K display, especially with the wide field of view. So I'm pretty excited about this.
That weird controller on the side, like the other ones that don't look like wands, those are complete fake.
It's clear now.
Almost.
Almost. And you can change your IVD in here.
Where?
Here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
How do you feel?
That is a wide field of view. Very cool. Excellent. Ooh.
No screen door.
Wow. Oh, very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, so the resolution is no joke. That is a very, very tight. I couldn't tell screen door effect at all. Now, it wasn't as crisp as potentially some of the other displays, so there were a few issues, specifically around the sides. There's some distortion that was a little bit uncomfortable. It didn't seem like it would be a huge issue. However, whenever I was turning my head left and right very quickly, there was definitely some lag in the display, so I'm curious to see if, if this is an issue with just the game that they're doing, if it's an issue with the hardware that's currently supporting it. But there was definitely a delay, and that, if I spun too quickly, that'd probably make me a little bit nauseous pretty quickly. So a little bit concerned. It wasn't a perfect experience, but that wide field of view, that could be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, I can't say I'm a fan of the distortion. You can definitely tell that as soon as it gets to right about here and beyond, it seems that it's kind of faking it a little bit. So I don't know exactly the details on it, but it wasn't the pure view that I was hoping for, but still very, very nice.
Okay, so that is actually, for the most part, the bulk of the content that I got from CES. So I'm going to go through and show a few more clips of just kind of like the interesting bits. But everything so far, that's all the things that really, really mattered. And just to close out on the Pimax8k, like, I don't know, man, like I don't think that I would actually enjoy the distortion. And actually, there was like it seemed like there was like a little bit of like tearing, like, I don't even know if I'm even remembering it correctly, but it seemed like there was like an issue with just like right in the middle where things didn't seem like they were quite lined up just right. But all these demos, they're pretty rushed, so it's kind of hard to say that for sure. Just from my memory, yeah, lessons learned. I would if I were able to do it all again right now, I'd do a lot of things differently. But overall, I'm okay with how I managed myself so far, ish, kind of, almost. Okay, so before I move on to the sort of knickknacks and other, kind of interesting things that I saw around, any questions on anything from HTC, anything from DisplayLink, from TPCast, or Pimax? If you can get a Vive set of that is perfect today, what would it be? Donkey Kong, I'm not quite sure what that question is asking. If you could get a Vive set that is perfect today, what would that be? Well, so the Vive Pro and the wireless. And I actually really liked the DisplayLinks with the battery on top. I think I'd actually prefer that more than the cable going into my pocket. I mean, you never know if you want to play naked. You don't have pockets where you're going to put it. Sorry. I don't know why I went there. Anyway, so more realistically, I actually liked the unit all self-contained up there. The weight was nothing. Like it didn't bother me at all. The battery life was more than enough. Like I don't typically play for like 3 hours anyway. So just being able to quickly hot swap those batteries out there, I would prefer that over having even a larger battery pack in my pocket. So anyway, so let's see. Andreas, man, thanks for hanging out, dude. Go to sleep. I'm so sorry. User, will TPCast refund my... I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sorry. How's the weight on the Pimax? It seemed fairly consistent with the current Vive, I would say. I should have thought about that as I was playing it. I actually tried to get an interview with the, I think she was the CEO. I don't remember what her position was, but I tried getting an interview with her. She ended up like having to interview with another group, and then I tried waiting around, but I ran out of time, so I had to leave. So I was going to get an interview, but then I just ran out of time. If you could have a full Vive setup, that is perfect. Yeah, so yeah, TPCast, or sorry, not TPCast, the Pro plus the wireless adapter, and that's perfect for the generation of hardware that we have at our disposal. I mean, we could talk about perfect in the future, but that's a completely different thing. Is the Pimax comfortable to wear? I didn't have any issues with it. Yeah, I don't remember anything standing out as being a problem. Ben, what is the battery life of the 3 units? So I'm assuming you're meaning TPCast, the DisplayLink's prototype, and then the HTC. I don't have any data on the HTC's battery life, and it's not an apples-to-apples test, just because the battery sizes are very different. I want to say that the TPCast said it was 3? Oh gosh, I don't remember. We'll have to go back and actually watch that again. But I can say that the DisplayLinks, they were saying between 2 and 3 hours, I think. So pretty comparable, I think, overall. Obviously, larger batteries, longer battery life, so there's just trade-offs both ways. I did not meet James Halliday at CES. I did not. How high up your party list is wireless? Yeah, so Mr. Wooden Sheep, you personally prefer getting other improvements like field of view, resolution, FPS. I agree with you. I really do. So the wireless for me is a very, very nice addition, and it's well worth the improvement. However, I would prefer having the other improvements first. But you know, if it's already here, I'm glad to have it. But yeah, for me, the wire is a hindrance-ish, but it's not a showstopper, not by any means. However, the low resolution of the current generation of VR, the weight, like all those things, those are issues that are actual roadblocks to content, versus the wire just kind of being an annoyance sometimes that most people can just kind of work through. User 2 hours for the head-mounted TPCast, 6 hours for the hip. Okay, cool. Yeah, so pretty comparable. I would expect that any of them you're probably going to be like upper limits of 3 hours for the batteries on your head, and then of course you could have a car battery in your pocket if you wanted for really, really long gameplay. Cool. How much do I think it's worth? If we're talking about wireless, I gave the answer in one of the interviews. I would say 150 to 300, 300 on the high end. If it's anything above that, then it's really starting to stretch my ability to commit to it. But 150, I would be very happy with. 300, and I'd be like, okay, fine. Can you swap the batteries of DisplayLink or HTC Vive? So DisplayLink, yes, for sure. After seeing the demos for 8-10 hours straight, I can say that we ran through a lot of batteries, and so we were able to just take it out, put the next one in, just a few seconds later it's good to go. You don't even Steam doesn't even know that it's really lost it, because Steam goes to the transmitter that's in the wall, and so that transmitter never loses signal. So it's just the transmitter from the Vive or the wireless adapter that you lose transmission on. So Steam just thinks that you're there the whole time, and then whenever it comes back, it comes back. So. Oh, how much for the Vive Pro? Sorry, that is not something that I can talk about. Having some network issues. Weird. Okay, are we back? YouTube still shows that, okay, you think it's okay now? YouTube is still showing me this banner that says video output low. Let's see. Fixed? Fixed? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so I have no data on the Pro's price. Adecto, did I try the Pimax third-party controller? So I realized in the video playing back that the guy was kind of holding out the controller, but it wasn't shown in my view at all, so I had no idea that he was trying to hand me a controller. So no, I didn't actually try it, because it just seemed like a demo just to show me the resolution. I had no idea he was trying to hand me one, so Paul, whenever I play naked, is a draft in the room a distraction, or is it more immersive? All right, I've read your question. That's as much as you're going to get from me on that one, sir. By your excessive talk of closing the stream, I haven't talked about it that much. Like, it's in the beginning, just because I could just say loading, but I don't know. I thought it was funny, and then people ask me questions like, "What do you mean? How much do you play on natural?" No, I don't. I got kids here, and I don't even have a lock on my door, so no, I don't. I don't. For those of you that are intensely curious, no, I keep things clean. Anyway, all right, moving on. All right, so now I'm just going to show you some kind of like bits and bobs of the rest of what I saw. So this is the 3D rudder. I didn't actually get a chance to try it. There was actually a larger line than what I would have expected from this. So yeah, this is interesting.
Put it on.
Kind of interesting, but anyway, I'll let this one speak for itself. Sorry, large head. Should probably tap this part. You don't need to see me adjust straps. Okay.
One click this button.
Okay. Oh wow.
Straight.
Mostly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very cool. By very cool, I mean moderately interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, will this work? No.
This work.
Does it work? Very cool. Very cool. Kind of cool. Thank you so much. Yep, that's great.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, that's okay. Thanks. All right, so this little thing, it allows you to put a phone kind of horizontal above your eyes, and then it reprojects the screen on a semi-transparent mirror. So you see something interesting. It's not quite a hologram, but it's something close to it. The field of view is minuscule, like you can't really see much at all. But interesting tech. I thought it was pretty cool. The resolution, or the refresh rate, the responsiveness was not there at all. But I could see where that was going. It's a pretty interesting little view to see like a Sith Lord in front of you, and you actually have a lightsaber in your hand. It lagged behind a lot, but still, I can appreciate that. This one is weird. This is not VR, guys, but hold on. All right, pausing it there. So I walked by this booth, I recorded this, and I was like kind of scared walking away. Like, this was freaking weird. Those mannequins, you can't really tell from this video, but they were creepy. Okay, very creepy. I found out since this because I looked this up. But like, I didn't want to go into this. I didn't want to know anything at the time. I wanted to get out of there. It turns out this is an advertisement for a Netflix show. I don't remember what it was. Y'all can look it up. But like, that was freaking me out. Like, apparently on the inside of this, they have a very lifelike dude, a naked dude in a like Ziploc bag, and they have like condensation on the inside and everything. Like, super creepy. Super creepy. It was so bad. Anyway, all right, moving on. I only kept this in there just because CES is weird sometimes. This was cool. On top of that RV, there is a hot tub and a helicopter. Yeah, that's a thing. And then there's a mech suit. Okay? A freaking mech suit. This is apparently a mech racer. I haven't actually had a chance to look this up yet, but this is a quadruped mech racing suit. Amantis, it was not Black Mirror, I can tell you that for sure, although that's a creepy show too. Oh, so cool. I wanted to get in it so bad. I just want to walk around just over a few minutes. Yeah, there's a helicopter, and then there is a hot tub on the front of it.
HTC
and that's it. That's it. We're done, guys. That is all of my all of the recorded content. I got a few. I tried getting some like panoramic shots of like CES as a whole and some other build-up, but lessons learned: you got to rotate it very slow, otherwise it is really bad. So yeah, I failed miserably. But what do you guys think of that? Like, was that? I think I did okay-ish. I didn't have like an entire week to dedicate to CES, right? So the first, so I got there Saturday, and then the CES actually starts officially on Tuesday. For the first 3 days that I was there, it was just setting up the booth and getting things going. Tuesday and Wednesday, I was absolutely hardcore with the booth the whole time, making sure that everything was running smoothly. So I had no chance to actually walk around and get any actual footage. Thursday, I actually was able to go to HTC, and actually Thursday was whenever I got almost all of the footage, but there was a lot of travel time because HTC was in a different hotel than all this other content, and it took like an hour and a half. I think I was in the car for like 2 hours that day, just traveling back and forth traveling to the Wynn Hotel where HTC was, and then traveling from there to the Las Vegas Convention Center where everything else was for the most part, and then again back to the hotel again. So like crazy transit. So I didn't actually I had like half of a day to actually get all the content that I wanted. Not a whole lot. Ben, without a doubt, the Pro will make it to where longer VR sessions are dramatically more comfortable. So yeah, absolutely. Alex, thank you, man. Good night. Good night. Absolutely. Thank you. Still hopeful for the Pimax. Yeah. So I don't think it will be a waste. If you already have it, I probably wouldn't get it if it was offered now, especially with the Pro coming up. However, Pimax versus current gen Vive, you have probably a stronger argument. Paul, thank you. I'm always super self-conscious about these things, and especially since I like all of the interview questions were pretty much off the cuff. Like I'm not sure how I'm supposed to go into these things. I think I did okay at most of the questions. At least I didn't rambled too much. Most of the questions were most of the part on point. The biggest regret that I have is that I didn't create some questions ahead of time. And in the questions that I did think about ahead of time, I forgot to ask a lot of them. Like resolute or like minimum specs for the Vive. I wish I could have like at least gotten some information about that. There were a lot of misses, but not bad. Donkey Kong, thank you for the sub, man. Awesome. All right, so that's a good point. At least I'm not turning people off from this. So that's wait. Why is my face still on the screen like that? Get off there. Get off. Now my face is still on the screen, but at least it's moving. So you gotta say I like the live format. Excellent. Okay, cool. I don't know, like there probably won't be too many opportunities for this type of setup. However, I don't know, maybe in the future if we're doing if there's like a live broadcast of something that I'm not going to, I don't know, maybe we can all just hang out together and watch it, and we can kind of talk through it as we go through. Mr. Wright, any tips for ceiling fan removal? Turn off your power first, and then take off the ceiling fan. Cool. All right, so any other questions before I head out? I need to go back now. I meant to take notes on when the starting points were for each of the different segments. I failed, so now I need to go back through and kind of get the timestamps of when it all starts and so that I can link for the people that are watching this afterwards. Use a tether on the Vive that works pretty good. Wait, huh? Use the tether. Wait, to pull down your light. Wait, what? Are we talking about the fan removal again? No, don't. That's a bad idea. If we're talking about using the Vive cable to pull down a fan, bad idea. Darth Mumu is nice name, by the way. Is the DisplayLink going to be available to consumers, or is it business to business? So the DisplayLink version is actually just a proof of concept. The exact same tech that they're using is also in the Intel version. So what you buy from official HTC is basically the same thing, just in a different form factor. So, but no, you won't be able to buy the DisplayLink by itself. Ben Roach, thank you. Did a great job of the coverage. I am so glad I was there. That was so much fun. So much fun. I loved every minute of it. Even the parts where it wasn't even just the working part of working with DisplayLink at that booth. That was so much fun. And so I gush about you guys all the time. But again, once again, I could not have been there if it weren't for you guys just coming back and have being a part of this channel over the past, almost 2 years now. Gosh, it is almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years next month. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun. I absolutely love it. That was so great. Mr. Wooden Sheep, good night, bud. Thanks for hanging out, man. You're gonna try? Okay. All right. Don't let me know how that turns out, Mr. Wooden Sheep. I don't want to know. Miguel, you say that you hear the specs are the same as the first Vive. I find that hard to believe, but I hope so. That would be awesome. Do I like Corsair? Corsair, I've used several Corsair products. I have no strong opinion one way or another, but yeah, they seem like a good set of products. Oh, oops, wait, what happened? Chat just updated. Amantis, yep. Noted. Yeah, there's. I'll probably do a mixed bag of both live things like this and the more proper reviews. So, yeah. Thank you for the feedback, though. I really do appreciate it. Excellent. Thank you, JD, Paul, Mr. or MJC4 Wilton. Play VRs. All right. Enough of the naked comments. We're done. John, thank you, man. Glad to have done it. Paul, good night. Thank you, man. Which one looked more HD? Oh, the Vive Pro, to be honest. Even though the Pimax8k, technically, I think they, obviously they're going for 8K. I think they have more resolution, although if I remember correctly, they kind of like have a fake 8K, so I'm not sure technically which one has the higher specs of resolution. However, I can say that the Vive Pro, despite having a more narrow field of view, it felt better just because you don't have the distortion. Like, that's a really big turnoff for me. Cool. All right, any more questions before I head out, guys? This has been a blast, but yeah, I've been gone from my family for the past week, so I definitely wanted to make sure that that I did this. But now I want to go hang out with the wife and the kiddos. But answering any more questions before we close out. Don't Vive in the shower. Bad idea. Trust me on that. Water is not compatible with the Vive. Cool. All right, so the questions have slowed down. I'm going to go ahead and call this a night. Feel free to ask any questions, moving forward. You guys know where I am. And once again, jump in the Discord. Link in the description for that. We're always there hanging out. So really appreciate it, guys. Daryl, did I talk to my wife about the racing rig yet? No, and it was cool. It was amazing, but I'm not spending 50 grand on that thing. That's just crazy. That's crazy. Gilsab, no, I didn't see any foveated rendering there. I did see an eye tracking booth. Actually, I even got a video of it, but it wasn't like, it was just, you could play like an asteroids destroyer game by just looking at them with your eyes. That's full on into gimmick mode if you ask me. But I definitely want to see foveated rendering in VR, but I didn't see that there yet. Yeah, I can't answer any questions on bundles or prices or anything else like that. That's just not information that they released, so I don't have it. Cool. All right, and I'm done, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And actually, you know what? Give me a second, because it's like with all these live things, I need to do a quick shout out to the guys over on Patreon. I know I've kind of neglected y'all since I haven't really done the typical proper message things proper videos in a few weeks, but quick shout out to my guys over there. We have Uptight Pirate, Andreas, Biohazard, Simona's. Oh wait, I'm looking at the actual Patreon, so I don't know all of their proper names. But so I'm just gonna go with first names if I don't remember your actual username, because I've gone by usernames for a lot. But Michael, Ryan, Rutabaga, Jins, Zithel, Frederick, Stuok, Kins, Patrick. Patrick and Kens, you guys have been here since the very beginning. You guys are all amazing. Connie, Phil, Tom, Brandon, Robert, John, Robert K, Black Fox, Peter, Joseph, Blades, Mike, Moore. Barnacles have been around for a long time. He's awesome as well. Billywall, David, Kevin, Peter, Caden, Felix, John, Andreas, Andrew, Harbinger 50, Alexander, Japman, Richard P, Brian, DW, and Noble Brutus. Huge thank you to all you guys. That's everyone on the Patreon, everybody on Patreon. I love you guys. Y'all have made it to where, if it were not for those people, CES would have been a pain in the butt. I recorded a little video earlier about my setup. You can see it's all kind of still strung up behind me. I spent a pretty decent amount of money on some gear for CES. If I hadn't had those guys on Patreon, there's no way I would have been able to afford that. I spent probably close to $1,500 on audio and the tripod and everything else just to make it to where I could actually go out there and do this. I needed a better wireless solution. I needed an actual tripod that was light, that was going to actually function for the way I needed it. I needed a new backpack because I needed to be able to get things in and out quickly. So that was a huge amount of improvements for the channel, all thanks to those guys. So you're all amazing. Thank you so much. So cool. That's it. That's it. Have I watched the trailer for Ready Player One? Yes, super excited, a little bit worried. I love the book. I'm worried that they won't be able to pull it off, but we'll see. JD, I will probably, I don't have the, I have room, but I'm not going to sacrifice, room scale room for Racing Sim room. Not yet. Not yet. I don't know how much the wireless adapter weighed, but it was light. I can't say that. And especially the official one, because it has the battery pack in my pocket, you feel nothing on your head. So some trade-offs there. Okay, I'm really going to go ahead and close it out, guys. If you have any other questions, drop them in the comment. There will be this will be available momentarily on the video on demand thing as just a published video. So, but for tonight, I'm going to bed. Thank you again, guys, for being a part of this. Love you all, and I'll see you over the course of the next week. Bye.